Hey, I'm Jay. Welcome to smarthelping.com. You've landed on the Inventory Templates Financial Model Bundle. These spreadsheets are all designed to help small to medium-sized businesses keep track of their inventory, possibly tracking it between multiple locations, as well as tracking cash requirements and future inventory needs. It's also got some FIFO cost of goods sold um, logic here. Before I get deeper into each spreadsheet, first of all, nice to meet you, and thanks for dropping by. So this bundle you can buy for, you can get all the spreadsheets. There's 7 of them here right now for $149, or you can go through, click through, and buy each, buy individually which ones that you want, and that's fine too. Um, So let me talk a little bit about the templates. So the first one is inventory tracking for single or multiple locations. So this includes a couple different spreadsheets in the purchase. Um, and no, all of these are included in the purchase up here if you buy them in bulk. Everything I'm going over. So this one specifically includes a couple different spreadsheets. The first one tracks inventory at a single location. It'll have an input card where you just put in basically inventory receiving transactions and inventory leaving transactions. That'll go to a database, and then you've got a summary tab that basically looks at the cost of everything that was purchased, the value of everything that was sold, and it gives you a balance in a dollar value and a unit count for remaining inventory balance um, by SKU, up to 500 SKUs. Now, the multiple locations one is one of the more popular templates I've sold on Smart Helping over the years. And that one has an input card, but you can basically define transactions where inventory moves to basically it's purchased, so it moves into a given location. And you can also move inventory from location to location, as well as from a warehouse to other locations, and then from other locations to be sold. So that was probably the top. It's got to be at least in the top 10. Let me see here. Yeah, it's one, two, three, four, five, six, top 7 in my top 10 plays sold. So tracking inventory at multiple locations. These are all Excel sheets, by the way, if you were wondering. And so that's the first one. The second one is inventory restocking and cash requirement planning. Now this is a little bit different. This is for forecasting future inventory purchasing requirements, and it basically lets you put in historical sales histories for SKUs, and then you can define percentage year-over-year change from your historicals that you think will be your sales over the next 12 to 36 months. So you're basically doing a sales forecast that's going to drive how much of the stock you're using per day over that time period. And then the model will look at expected lead times, payment terms, and minimum inventory levels or safety stock, and determine when you need to order inventory so that you never run below the safety stock. And it will again and it'll show the payment terms, the cash going out to buy the inventory, when that has to happen, and the monthly cash requirement based on all those factors over, you can do it up to 36 months. This is actually my top selling template ever. This one right here. People have just, it's been very valuable to so many organizations. And yeah, it's number one. 181 purchases of this one. Next up, we've got daily inventory tracker. This is a new one I did. It basically allows you to put inventory in and inventory out per day, and it tracks your ending inventory balance each day as well as the value of it. It's a pretty simple sheet. I put some conditional formatting in to make it easier to use, but it's a daily inventory sheet for any kind of business, and it has up to 40 unique inventory items that you can track, and it's not hard to expand it. Number 4, FIFO cost of goods sold. This is probably the most complex logic I ever had to solve. Um, it was tough. So what this does is, when you sell things, you have to figure out what it cost, what the cost of goods sold was of those things. Now, in accounting practices, usually you have to use FIFO, or first in, first out costs. So what that means is if you buy a couple different tranches of inventory, or let's say materials or units at different pricing, you have to value, when you sell that, you have to value the units based on the price of the first or furthest, the first purchase. So if I buy 1,000 at $1 per unit and then 10,000 at $5 a unit, I have to value them at the first purchase, which was, what did I say, $1 per unit. And then 5,000, uh, the second price would then enact as you sell more and use up the first tranche, and so on, and you go forward like that. So this spreadsheet allows you to just put in the historical purchase quantities and price per unit in a log, and then you type in your sales in a log, and then it'll tell you for each of those sales, it'll automatically do the math to figure out how much you've used up of each tranche and what the cost of goods sold per unit and total cost of goods sold is for each of the sales that you do. I've got it in Google Sheets and Excel. So this one again is been helpful for a lot of organizations, and the logic that I built in here is super valuable. And it actually took me years. I've seen the problem with this calculator, trying to build it for years, and I finally had cracked it. And it really only could work in Excel or Google Sheets because of the way it works with the pushing of if error values, and it's just really it's really elegant the way it works. Inventory reordering tracker. This is just for if you have a lot of SKUs and you want to keep track of when things are likely to need to be reordered. You can load up your inventory into here, basically how much you have, some different variables about your safety stock, the expected sales in the next um, X amount of months, and it'll basically tell you how many days you have left of the inventory, and then it'll do some automatic filtering. This comes in Excel and Google Sheet version. The Google Sheet version has some more filter formulas that'll just update based on your inputs and show you your like the top X amount of SKUs that need to be ordered if they're within 5 days or 10 days or whatever. But basically, it's just to help you keep track of when you should probably be looking at ordering inventory for a bunch of different SKUs. So it's really an organizational tool. Inventory within a three-statement model. So if you're building a financial forecast and you've got payment terms and you want to figure out how this works with the balance sheet, cash flow statement, income statement, this focuses specifically on all the inventory calculations. Really good for anyone that's building three-statement models and doing forecasting with inventory that has to deal with payment terms like 25% up front, 75% the next month, things like that. Finally, cash conversion cycle, mainly a calculation to look at for businesses that sell inventory as their main way to make money, and it shows uh, when you collect money, when you have to pay your vendors, and when you sell your inventory, and it looks at those metrics to figure out like essentially how much time it takes for your cash to go out and then come back. I did some cool visuals on this as well to really visualize the conversion cycle. This is a calculation that is measured in days as well, and this is just an Excel spreadsheet. All right, well that's all I got for you on this one. Feel free to purchase the inventory templates here. You can get everything I just went over for $149, and enjoy. I'll see you guys on the next one.